Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Sir Accurious, and today I'm bringing you another Destiny 2 video. And in today's video, what I'm going to be going over is a PvP Warlock setup that absolutely shreds in Crucible. Now, this is a setup that you can use in any, you can use it almost in any map. Anyone can really use this setup. You don't have to have Vex for this. But this setup just absolutely shreds. I'm going to be going over an exotic that I prefer to use with this setup because of everything that can go along with it, which I'll explain soon. But you know this setup is designed to be flexible, so you do not have to use the weapons I am using in the background gameplay, or the weapons that I'm going to go over. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this video. Alright, so what are we going to be using? What are the weapons? What's the loadout? What subclass? What exotic armor? What are we all going to use? Y'all can see my background gameplay, but y'all still don't understand how this build can shred. You don't understand, everything I'm using. Well, first off, we have our subclass. All right, the subclass we're using is Bottom Tree Stormcaller. Now, why are we using Bottom Tree Stormcaller? Well, first off, we have our grenades. It doesn't really matter which grenade you run. We have a Burst Grad, Healing Rift, etc. But why are we running Bottom Tree specifically? Well, first, we have Landfall. On casting Storm Trance, it fires a bolt of lightning into the ground, essentially killing anyone that's in the circumference of that lightning shock. Then you have Rising Storm. This electrocuting melee ability recharges your super, grenade, and melee energy. So whenever you get a kill with your melee ability, it recharges your other abilities, essentially. But the main thing is Arc Soul. Your Rift now grants you an Arc Soul to aid in battle. So, essentially, you have an Arc Soul that helps you deal more damage. And then you have your Rift that lasts longer and charges faster and all that. But what are we combining with, the Arc Soul? Because it only comes with our Rift. Well, if we use the exotic Getaway Artist, we can convert our grenade into a supercharged Arc Soul. All you have to do is press your grenade button, hold the grenade button, or hold the grenade key or whatever, and that is all. That's all you have to do. You create another Arc Soul, and essentially, you can keep getting the Arc Soul. Now, that's all fine and dandy, constantly getting an Arc Soul, but what are we running with it? Well, you can run any Shotgun or Fusion or Heavy you want, really. It doesn't really matter. But the main weapon that I recommend you use with this build, and the one that I personally love using with this build because of how fun it is the exotic Pulse Rifle, No Time to Explain. Now, why do I recommend this? Well, first, you have the exotic trait Rewind Again. Precision shots and shots against combatants slowed or affected by stasis will return to the magazine. Now, that's all fine and dandy, but what else does No Time to Explain have to offer? Well, you got all your other standard perks and everything, but the main thing is Time Slip. At 10 stacks of Rewind Again, a small portal will open, shooting bullets from an alternate timeline version of this weapon. Precision hits extend the portal's duration. So, and then you also have, your full auto. So essentially, when you get 10 precision hits, a portal will open. It looks like a gray Arc Soul, and essentially, instead of shooting arc bolts, it'll shoot, it'll shoot, it'll shoot bullets at enemies. Now, why is it that how does this all come together to make this amazing build that absolutely shreds? Well, first off, the thing you need to understand is that you can have your Arc Soul and your portal at the same time. you know. So, you have your arc soul, you have your time slip portal, which is called time chasm on the bottom left, and then look, like as you can see in the background gameplay, I have three different weapon damage outputs. I have my no time to explain, I have my arc soul, and I have my time chasm. Now obviously if you switch weapons, it's gonna like get rid of your time chasm, but still, you know, like you can have three different damage outputs. And so essentially, all you need to do is shoot. The perfect scenario is where you have the arc soul hits all three bolts on an enemy. You have your time chasm, which hits all three bullets on an enemy. And essentially, those all deal about the same amount of damage as, a shot from, the no time to explain. So essentially all you have to do is hit them once with no time to explain and they're dead. And that's what makes the setup absolutely shred, because you have three different, like I've been saying, you have three different damage outputs. All right? You have three different damage outputs. All right? And so essentially, this build is designed to essentially turn you into a one-man army. You know, like look, now I have, as you can see in the background gameplay, I have no time to explain, my time chasm, and my arc soul, or at least I did. Like, and with this setup, you're constantly getting your grenade, you're constantly getting your healing rift, you're constantly getting that arc soul, so you will always have that extra damage output, which is why I'm also telling you right now to run as much recovery and as much resilient, or not resilience, but discipline as possible. Because the more recovery you have, the faster your healing rift is going to come back. The more I keep saying resilience. That's so stupid. But the more discipline you run, the faster your grenade's going to come back. All right. The way I have my stats, at the moment, I don't have like max discipline and recovery. I think they're both in the 60s. I think they're both tier 6s. But even with tier 6s, like, look at that. I'm like, during like the first half of the match in the background gameplay, I was constantly activating my grenade. I was constantly activating my healing rift whenever my grenade ran out. And that's the other thing too. You want to make sure you don't use both. You want to use one and then the other. So if you activate your healing rift, wait till your arc soul's about to run out when you exit your healing rift, or when your healing rift disappears. Then use a grenade. After you use a grenade, your healing rift will come back soon. Like, it's that destructive to where you can constantly be getting, those extra damage outputs. And the arc soul can curve too. Like, those bolts curve hard, so they can absolutely destroy people from around corners. And the other thing is too is that you have when you're constantly activating your arc soul, and you constantly have your arc soul, it can save your life, man. Like, it can fucking save your life, because you have earlier in the background gameplay, if you saw, I had shotgunned that hunter after he shatter dived the stasis crystals, and I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him with the shotgun shot, and I was absolute. If I had not had my arc soul up, I would have died. He would have killed me, or we would have traded. But instead, my arc soul finished him off, and I survived. That is, and this is the whole entire point of the setup, to constantly have your arc soul, to constantly have another damage output, to constantly be dealing extra damage and to make yourself a one-man army, you know? Because look at that. I wasn't even shooting at him and he was taking damage from me because of the arc soul, And all right, so and the other thing too is I actually used this setup. Now, I used this exact setup besides the shotgun. I'm using a different shotgun in this clip. But I used the same, but still, I used No Time to Explain, Bottom Tree Stormcaller, Getaway Artist. I used the same exact setup when Beyond Light came out. And I posted a video about it, which you should definitely check out. It was it's the first video I actually posted to this channel. But anyways, guys, I think y'all should try it. If you're a Warlock, I'll be posting more videos. I'll be posting Titan builds, Hunter builds, etc. I'll be going in the Crucible, doing a bunch of other challenges soon. So, as I said in the beginning of this video, or if I didn't, because I'm a dumbass and can't remember anything, if you like this video, go ahead and give a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.